Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe on Netflix. Now, this is just a short little thing. It's kind of a spin-off from Diamond is Unbreakable, part 4 of JoJo's. Yeah, where we got Rohan pretty much telling us stories of stuff, of what kind of goes on, and it's 4 episodes. Even though they're like titled in weird kind of shit of like episode 16, episode 9, there's nothing going on. You could actually watch them in any kind of order if you want. It's just Rohan pretty much dealing with his life as a manga artist, pretty much going after inspiration and dealing with stupid kind of shit of like, oh yeah, I bought this whole kind of mountain thing to stop this development thing. Because there's like monsters that I want to investigate. He's like, okay. Now, the first one deals with Koichi, of course, was going off to Italy. This is, of course, linking up with part 5 with Giorno. He wanted Rohan to pretty much use Heaven's Door to have him learn Italian. Why he didn't ask to, like, hey, if you went to Italy and know Italian, you could come with me kind of shit. But he then relays this whole kind of story of him accidentally going into a confessional booth and hearing this dude's whole story. So it's a story in a story of like how he was a young dude. This vagrant pretty much popped up and needed some food. He's like, fuck that shit. Move some of my shit, man. Well, I sit down and he's like thinking that this dude's just a layabout and everything. He tries to do this kind of stuff, but then gets pretty much killed by the sack. He's like, I will haunt you and take you on your happiest day. Kind of drag me to hell kind of shit. Well, he gets really lucky. He becomes like a rich motherfucker, has a daughter with this like model and everything, and he's really happy and everything. The dude pops up like, yeah. Then it's pretty much a game of him trying to pop popcorn into his mouth, but he fails on the last one and he gets his head chopped off. However, we learned out that that's not the dude, that the dude who was actually, he's now haunted by that dude and the grudge dude because he'd changed himself to look like his servant. It's like, that's kind of fucked up. And I actually kind of like this because we don't know if a Stan's involved or whatnot. We see that the other people from part 4 kind of pop up and be like, whoa, that's got a crazy story of what's going on throughout these 4 kind of bits. And I know that Diamond is Unbreakable kind of followed a little bit of this kind of thing. But I kind of really would like a JoJo's part where it's just like investigating stupid kind of shit, Scooby Gang style, or like dealing with these interesting and weird kind of stories that might have stands involved but might not. So the second one deals with this daughter, heiress of pretty much this important kind of family, and she's got this kind of boyfriend and everything. It's like, oh yeah, she like murdered this dude or whatnot, but we find out that it was an accident and the dude kept bleeding and everything, and it's this kind of creature that pretty much would get you to take care of it forever and provide nothing in return. As we see that it's continuously bleeding, she's marries the person that she's supposed to. She's really kind of freaking out, and we saw this blood and everything, but she pretty much keeps this kind of keeps the body of her beloved in a certain kind of spot and just keeps taking care of it. Rohan is trying to investigate it and then finds this one girl that just kills herself, like pretty much accidentally dies. It's like, what the fuck? He utilizes Heaven Door to save her, notices her eyes and everything's like, that might be the girl from there. And this kind of creature that, yeah, she probably even, like, we see that she would spray water on it, it would kind of come back and look more kind of youthful and like normalish instead of like this desiccated kind of corpse kind of thing. It's like, she fucked that thing, and that's what that is. It's like, oh shit, fuck. It's like, yeah, I'm alright, man. Third one deals with this kind of like enclave where all these people like buy this kind of expensive kind of land. It's expensive relative of what's kind of going on. This was also after Rohan pretty much dealt with pretty much buying up all that kind of land. He's like, don't get me on this. She's like, I'm gonna do this, and she's gonna be she's around this right age that all these people there's like, okay, what the fuck's going on here? And evidently it's a real manners kind of linked kind of one. And we see that they also rescue this baby chick, and this is kind of important because it's used as a kind of bellwether because they're doing all this kind of stuff, but evidently she broke a lot of faux pas of what was kind of going on, and you have to be really strict with these rules because evidently the chick gets killed, her boyfriend gets killed, and her mother gets killed in like a car accident. It's like, oh god, like, it's not really fair when people don't know what the complete rules are. Rohan utilizing Heaven's Door to figure out what's kind of going on and tells the dude, pretty much makes it so the dude would do these kind of faux pas, and then of course they're able to get out. It's like that was really kind of crazy because there was like mountain gods and shit like that, and it's like you have to be very careful with that. The last one deals with this kind of like thing, the run. This dude pretty much gets brought in to pretty much modeling and trying to be an actor, and he's doing all this kind of stuff, working out pretty much all the time, and becoming even more and more obsessed with it. It's like, oh shit, I get wanting to work out and all that. I'm a proponent of working out myself. I would never kind of go to the levels of what this dude is doing, stealing from his girlfriend and getting all this like expensive kind of shit and pretty much transforming the apartment into a gym kind of thing. And she's like, holy fuck, what the fuck's kind of going on with you? As we then see that he was also competing with Rohan, as like, oh yeah, just Rohan just thought of it as just like a funny little thing to kind of do with, because we see them doing kind of bench presses and stuff like that, and then we see them doing this kind of run thing, and the dude's like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and of course making the stakes even higher, breaking 2 of Rohan's fingers, and then busting out a window and shit like that. He of course he saw some weird shit going on with it, kind of utilized Heaven's Door to make sure he would survive, and then the dude got flung out the window, but he's like, I don't think that dude died. Seeing that he had like wings that pop up on his muscles, pretty much talking about him either being like possessed by the god of muscle Hermes. It's like, shit, this was interesting, kind of creepy kind of stories and everything kind of going on, and I would definitely recommend it, especially if you liked Rohan's character from part 4. This just works very well, and I think would be a nice kind of, I like the small kind of vignettes, and I would almost take a season of just this kind of stuff where you just see them kind of like investigating weird kind of folklore kind of shit. I know that part 4 kind of has that kind of feel and everything, which is kind of a bit of what I like about that, where it just kind of focuses on like the small town and kind of we've gone to the world kind of threatening kind of stuff. Well, it was kind of, part 4 kind of is on the same kind of level of what was going on with part 1. It's like, okay, it's not world threatening yet, but we still have to deal with Dio. And then we of course got the Pillarmen in part 2, and then Dio's back threatening the world and shit like that in part 3, before doing our kind of little come down. Part 5, dealing with the, of course, fallout of Dio having children and stuff, before world-ending kind of stuff back with Dio in part 6. This is just a kind of cool thing of like exploring stuff that's kind of crazy in the world. We have the understanding of stands, but now we've got other kind of monsters and creatures in there that is really kind of cool to explore. Now, I do think that stands and like the spirit kind of aspect of it are kind of integral, but sometimes you can just step back and explore these kind of weird things and be like, I don't know if it stands, but there's something else, man. So I would definitely recommend this if you're a fan of JoJo's. It worked pretty well, and since I was pretty much finishing up Stone Ocean, I was like, let's check this out and see what goes on with it, and I really enjoyed it. It's only 4 episodes and it just worked out pretty well. I'm like, do more of this. This would be great. So those are my opinions on the little limited series. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.